Hi, I'm Dale. I am a teacher and technician at Spin Pottery. So first thing I'm going to do, grab my sponge, empty out most of the water. This wheel is bone dry, which makes it harder for us to push the clay. So I'm going to spin my wheel full speed, press down from the center, out and back again. Then, making sure my hand is dry, I'm going to grab the clay, throw that on. You want to hear a sound because you want to make sure it's not going to move. Then that water helps me to push it into the central ring, which is the engravings on the wheel head. So I'm just going to push that in. Then it's slightly a bit wonky, and I'm patting in and down to press this further into the wheel until I have a kind of mountain shape, keeping it a size that I can comfortably wrap my hands around. Now all of this was done with dry hands. I'm going to add some water now. Sprinkling some water on the top and then also adding some water to my hands. You want to keep your clay shiny. Now we're going to start centering. Now usually the position that I would tell people is to have their fingers just touching at the top, palms pressing in and thumbs resting at the top to prevent it from going higher. We're going to start centering, just positioning it in the center, and then we'll start coning. So you want your elbows down and making that formation that I just explained with this part of your hand flat on the wheel. So I'm going to go full speed. And then I'm going to make that position. And you want your clay to kind of look relatively still. So after I've got my clay and remove that jiggle, if you're really struggling, you can push your whole body towards it. So my elbows are down into my pelvis. I'm pushing my whole body towards the clay. And then I'm going to start coning up. So I'm going to keep my hands flat on the wheel. I'm going to take this down just a notch and I'm going to push up, squeezing together, and then I'm going to push back down again, away and down, squeezing to bring my clay up, adding some more water, then pushing it away and down. Now I'm going to push this down into a hockey puck shape. I do so by making this shape here, keeping my elbow in, pushing down from the top. It's okay if it gets a little jiggly from here. We can recenter it, making that same position. I'm going to push this down so it's low and flat.